Hello Booktube, welcome to Lizzie Faye Loves Books. I'm Elizabeth, and it's not Friday. I didn't get a Friday Reads video done. It is Sunday afternoon, but I had such a fantastic reading week, but I've just been too busy this weekend to film a video up to this point. So before it gets any later and before the weekend's completely over, I wanted to just catch you up on what I've been reading. I think I may do a few other, film a few other videos today as well, and then I'll have some videos to show you throughout the week. But so far this month, I have finished a total of 12 books, and 7 of them, actually 8 now, I have finished just in the last 7 days. So 6 of them were audio, and then 1 was an ebook, and 1 was a physical book. And I did participate in the Romance Readers Readathon. I finished 3 of the challenges and started the 4th one, but I didn't finish that book. So I want to tell you about what I read. But before I do that, though, I just want to take a second to say welcome to all of you, my brand new subscribers. Thank you so much for subscribing. I know that a lot of you more recent ones are probably here because of March Mystery Madness, and I will have some videos related to that coming up very soon. I want to do kind of a host shout out video, and then I also will have my TBR. I've been getting it sorted out, and I think I know now what I'm planning to read for March. So those will definitely be coming up very soon. I also have a March Mystery Madness tag that I will be dusting off and reviving this year, and some other stuff. So I hope you'll come back for that. Then also, some of you may have recently subscribed because of as a result of a couple of shout out videos that I was blessed to be a part of, or that I was blessed to be mentioned in. And so thank you to those people who mentioned me, and thank you for coming here. I want to invite you to just go and check out maybe my original Booktube introduction video and my Booktube newbie tag. Those will just help you get to know me a little bit, and kind of see who I am and what I'm about, and all of that. And then come on back here and we'll talk about what I'm currently reading. So the 7 books, well, I keep saying 7 books because had I filmed this on Friday night or Saturday morning, I would have told you I finished 7 books, but I finished another one this morning. So it's 8 books. And the 8 books I've finished since my last Friday or Saturday Reads video. I'll show you the 2 print ones first. One of them was a novella that I read on my Kindle, and it was for the Romance Readers Readathon. By the way, that was hosted by Sarah and Sissy. Sarah is from Not Just Romance Novels, and Sissy is the Romance Queen of Booktube. And they hosted this wonderful readathon that went from, I believe, the 12th to the to yesterday, the 17th, or was it the 16th? I think it just went till Friday. Maybe it was the 10th. I don't know. It encompassed Valentine's Day, and it was a week long. So there were 4 challenges. One of them was to read a RITA award winner or a finalist. So I started looking at the novellas because I knew I couldn't pick up something that was very long and add it to my very long TBR and list of current reads. So I found the novella from 2016 that was the RITA award winner was not part of a series. It was called Nice Girls Don't Ride by Loren, and I bought it on my Kindle. I only paid like maybe $1.99 for it, so so it was it wasn't a bad price at all. And now Sarah did warn me that Loren, she had read her before, and she said, I know you don't really care too much for the steamy stuff, so I just want to let you know that she can get pretty steamy. And she was exactly right. Definitely was a little steamier than my comfort zone. Not any more than the Earth Children series, though. I mean, goodness, that was way over the top. But I think what bothered me more than the steamy part was just the casual use of the F word just thrown in everywhere. I don't care for that, and so that made it not as enjoyable for me. But now I have, broadened my horizons a little bit, and I'm a little more familiar with another author, and I didn't have to spend a lot of time to do it, and I accomplished that challenge. Then the other print book that I read was the second story in Love Finds You Under the Mistletoe. The first story I read earlier, I guess in January. It was by Irene Brand, called An Appalachian Christmas, and I've already talked about it it quite a bit. It was set right after World War II. The second story was by Anita Higman, and it was called Once Upon a Christmas Eve. Basically about a woman who was left on a doorstep as an infant, and now she's an adult, and there's a love triangle. It's her story. She does the mystery of who her mother is. It is solved to an extent, and while probably realistic, it wasn't very satisfying. I didn't feel like it wasn't really what I had hoped. But that was the one element of the story that allowed me to kind of slide this in for the challenge to read romantic suspense, because this story had that little bit of mystery involved in it. So I did finish it, and I think this is going to be the last of the Christmas books that I will read for a while. It was one of my Advent books from December, and I had several that I read in January, and the ones that I didn't start yet, most of those I'm going to save till next December. There's just 3 of them that are quilt related, and I may try to pick those up at some point during the year so that I can get those sent on to my sister before next holiday season. But this one I think is the last one that I'm going to read, and even it really was just kind of loosely Christmas themed. Both of them kind of ended at Christmas, but you could really read them anytime. Christmas just kind of was a side character in both of these stories in this book. So then the rest of what I finished were audiobooks. I did finish Lonesome Dove. I don't have the print copy anymore. I had to take it back to the library, but I was so excited to get that read. I enjoyed it so much more than I even dreamed that I would. It was just a fantastic book, an epic journey, definitely, and I would thoroughly recommend it. And then these are the other 4 audiobooks that I finished by Friday, and then this is the one I finished this morning. So this one also counted for the Romance Readers Readathon. This counted for the challenge to read a historical novel. This is based on the true story of Alexander Hamilton and Eliza Schuyler. I enjoyed it a lot. It's a YA book. It's going to be one of our book club selections for later in the year, but I decided to go ahead and read it and just kind of read ahead, and it fit perfectly for that challenge. I thought it was really good. I've not ever really jumped on the Hamilton train, but now I think I'm a little more interested. This was very well told, and it kind of had a Pride and Prejudice sort of a feel to it at first, and I enjoyed it. Then I also listened to, I think probably a scaled down audio version of the Atkins Essentials. I've done Atkins before, and I am trying to get back on it again. I've had a couple of false starts and then kind of got sidetracked. So this, I think, has helped me to get back on track for real this time. And it basically is what it says. This is the essentials. This is really just the basics of what you need to get started with Atkins. And I thought it was really good. And then I finished Kingdom Keepers 2, Disney at Dawn. This is a continuation from the first Kingdom Keepers book. I didn't enjoy this as much the second time around. I mentioned that both books 1 and 2 were rereads for me. I think I'm just ready to get on to the third book and the rest of the series. This one takes place more at Animal Kingdom, so I'm not really sure why they have the castle and everything here on the cover, because I don't think that scene took place in this book. I think that took place in the first book. I don't know. It already is like just one story, though. I get already mixed up of what happened in each story. But most of this book took place in the morning, in the early dawn hours at Animal Kingdom. And it's about some kids who are, they were hired to have their images filmed to be holographic hosts, but now they've gotten kind of pulled into this sort of reality where the villains are real and they're trying to take over Disney, and it's fun. Then for book club, I read Their Eyes Are Watching God by Zora Neale Hurston. I listened to it on audio. I don't want to say I rushed through it because I couldn't speed it up. I was listening to it on CD, but I didn't have time to go back and listen to parts again, and I was trying to multitask while I was listening to it, so I don't think I got as much out of it as I would have if I had sat down and read it in print. I just didn't have that luxury of time. I may go back to it someday. It was really interesting. I didn't know going into it that it takes place in Florida, and it's based on real places and real people and everything, and I was very familiar with the towns and the places that are are mentioned in here. So for that reason, I'm glad I read it. And then just this morning, I finished Lending a Paw by Laurie Cass. This is the first in the Bookmobile Cat series, and it combines two of my favorite things, cats and bookmobiles. I enjoyed the relationship of the bookmobile librarian and her cat, Eddie. Now, Eddie wasn't originally supposed to be on the bookmobile. He sort of was a stowaway on the first day, but he was so well loved that she ended up having to bring him back. And I love Eddie. He is just your typical headstrong, stubborn cat. He knows his own mind, and I think he's going to be a real entertaining character. All of the other side characters I thought were very interesting. The murder, to me, was kind of secondary as far as the part I enjoyed. I enjoyed more the bookmobile and the cat and everything like that. The murder, to me, was not as integral to the story as the bookmobile and the cat were, but you know, that's just me. I enjoyed it though, and I am definitely looking forward to reading more of the series. The reason I picked this up right now is because Courtney, who is the protagonist, she's also one of the March Mystery Madness hosts. She has recently started a cozy mystery book club with Books Are My Heart, and this is their February pick. And because it was a cozy mystery that was on my TBR, I decided to go ahead and pick it up. It was on, it's on Hoopla Audio, and so it was real easy for me to check out and listen to, and I'm glad I did. So I'm still doing the Book One Cozies Club. I'm still going to be reading as many of those books as I can, but since this was already on my TBR, I decided to go ahead and join in, at least for this one. So it was good. Then a couple of other books on my currently reading list. I am still, let's see what else is on my list. Oh, I know. Before I get completely off the topic of the Romance Readathon, this would have met the 4th challenge for the Romance Readers Readathon to read a Harlequin book. This is book 3 in the Welcome to Tyler series. It's called Wisconsin Wedding by Carla Neggers. And I'm kicking myself because I didn't think to look for it on audio. I just assumed it wasn't on audio anywhere. And on the very last day of the readathon, I looked on Audible, and lo and behold, they have it. And I thought, well, you know, before I pay for it, let me look and just see if it's on any of the other places. And it it came up as one of the options for recommending on Overdrive. So I recommended it to my library, and we'll see. If they buy it, then I'll be able to listen to it on audio, and if they don't, then at some point I will probably get it from Audible. I might go ahead, I'm still considering, I just got an Audible subscription for the first time ever at the beginning of this year, and so I'm still toying with the idea of adding on the romance package. So if I do that, then this will surely be available through through that package. So I decided to put it on hold for now. I did start it barely, but I didn't finish it. Hardly at all. Then I am in the middle still of Stranger World by Jack Castle. If you have not entered the giveaway, I want you to do that right now. As soon as you finish this video, or put this video on pause, open up another window and go and find, or click down below. I will put the link to my announcement video about this giveaway, and in the description of that video, there will be a link to the giveaway. It's on Amazon, so you need an Amazon account. My friend Jack Castle is giving away 5 e-copies of this book, Stranger World. This is book 1 in the series, and so far it's really good. It is about a theme park gone wrong, that type of thing. It kind of has an Alice in Wonderland feel. Jack writes in a lot of different elements in his books. There's some monsters, and there's time travel and space travel and things like that in his other books. So there's no telling what is going to be in this book. I mean, there's just going to be some crazy stuff, I know. Just from the prologue, I can already tell that there's going to be some horror in this as well. And so anyway, I'm just a little ways into it, but I definitely will be getting this finished before the end of the month. And if you are one of the winners of the ebook, let me know, and we can, it's really a quick read. It's just that I've been reading other stuff in the middle of it. I've kind of been going along kind of slow on purpose because I want to see who ends up winning a copy. And then if you want to jump on in and read it with me, then that would be awesome. So 5 of you are going to win an e-copy of this book. So be sure you enter. You have until the end of the day on Tuesday, February 20th. So be sure you enter. And then I started yesterday in the car to and from the book sale that I went to, I started To Be Where You Are by Jan Karan, a book 14 in the Mitford series. The Mitford series is my all-time favorite series. Just amazing. I love it so much. And it's just like visiting old friends again. And I know that this book is going to be fantastic. I love it already. And I'm just a little ways into it. So then this morning, because I just felt like it, I started Hallelujah Anyway by Anne Lamott. This I thought might be one of those books I could just kind of whip through in one sitting. It's not. It is a very inspirational, not really a Christian book, but there is some mention of God and spirituality, but it's mainly about what it says here in the subtitle, rediscovering mercy and treating other people with mercy, having mercy, giving mercy, just mercy. And so far, that the first chapter that I read is about mercy, and I think I'm just going to read it a chapter a day. It's got 9 chapters. I'll finish it by the end of the month, and that way I can digest it in smaller chunks, because I think this is going to be a really important book to read, and I am glad that I picked it up. Then I also started something else. Oh, on my phone, on Audible. Okay, I was looking through some old email the other day, looking for some addresses, and which, by the way, I have finally sent out the first batch of my book giveaways that I announced like eons ago. So some of you have already gotten books, and some of you I still have your books. I'm still getting them packaged up. I can only do a few at a time, but I am so excited that I'm getting that done. Anyway, I was going through old emails looking for, you know, all the addresses that people have sent me, and I found an email from a publisher who's asked me last year if I would read this little kids book. It's a children's book called The Mysterious Something. It's the first book in the Nocturnal series. It's by Tracy Hecht, and I'm sorry I cannot think of the exact title, but I will have a physical copy of it from the library. I have it ordered, and so I'll have that by the time I actually talk about it again. But it is going to be so cute. I started it this morning, and it is adorable. It's about these little nocturnal animals in the forest, and they can talk to each other, and they're so cute. So I am super excited about this book, and my apologies to the publisher for not getting it read sooner. When she wrote me last year, she said, you know, would you like to read this book? And I said, well, you know, if it's on audio, I can get to it, no problem. And she sent me an Audible credit, and I forgot about it. So now I have the book, and I have started it, and it's super cute. So I will probably, it's not very long, it's like 3 hours, so I'll finish it today or tomorrow, and I'll definitely tell you about it next week. So I think that's everything that I've started. There are 7 other books that I want to get read before the end of the month. 6 of them are the Sunshine State books, which I have already talked about. I'm not even going to tell you the titles of them right now. These 3 I'm going to read in print, and these 3 I'm going to listen to on audio. And then I also have the graphic novel of A Wrinkle in Time, and I want to read this while I have it checked out from the library. So those are my goals for the rest of the month. Then I've already been pulling out my books for March Mystery Madness, and I want to get to those ASAP as well. So I'm going to try to cut this off now before I hit 20 minutes. I'm at 18.5 right now. So that's all for this video. I'll be coming back soon with several other videos, some related to March Mystery Madness. I've got some book haul videos coming up and all of that. So stay tuned, and that's all I have for this video. I hope you're having a great day. Read a good book, and God bless you.